the notes I took on Sunday. For some reason, my brain was like totally dead, and I was like, how do I make an intro? Anyway, but I did want to talk about the notes I took Sunday, because I feel like taking notes is one important thing about going to church. Like, for me, I have such a hard time to just pay attention in a lot of things. So for me, I have to take a lot of notes, and that's something I do. So I want to tell you one of the things that I took notes of, and then we're gonna put these in a pot and then put them on the stove because they're frozen. So today not today, hold up, but on Sunday, we were in Proverbs 24, 5-6. And for a healthy relationship, we need consistency, candor, carefulness, and counsel. And for that day, we were learning about the word candor. Now, candor is the quality of being open and honest in expression. So, open and honest. So, like, if I was trying to be honest with you, like, that shirt doesn't, like, you asked me, like, hey, does this shirt, hold up, I did not mean to say that. Hey, does this shirt look good? Yeah, and it's like satanic, just an awful shirt, but you didn't know it. People are like, oh yeah, it's so good, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say, hey, that's not a good shirt to wear, so maybe you want to go change it. And you're like, come on, man, why would you do that? Everyone was saying nice things about it, and you're the only one that doesn't like it, so why are you doing that? Well, I was open and honest with you. I'm just going to read you all my notes and then try to explain it more because that's what I want to do. We can't let our pride and ego get in the way of a good candor. I think that's what I tried to do. And that's kind of true because, like, as the situation I just said right there, like, why would you do that? Everyone was saying nice things about it except you. Well, I was the only one honest about it. You're gonna blame me for being honest about it? Okay. That's something like, oh, this is a shirt, everyone likes it, I'm gonna wear it. But is it right? Another note I took was, we are afraid to call someone out because of tension or losing a friend. So with that situation, like, oh, I like that shirt. Hey, I don't think it's good. Doesn't align with God. Sometimes we are afraid to get in the way of calling someone out on that. Thinking they might judge us. Thinking they might say, like, yeah, you're just saying that because you're a Christian. And then they don't talk to you for a while. Well, that's kind of the same thing with sharing the gospel. Sharing the gospel, a lot of the fears that can happen with sharing the gospel is being judged or losing a friend or so many things about, like, what the other person would think of you. And that's one thing I feel like a lot of us can relate to. So, like, not even with just the gospel or wearing something. This happens, like, daily in our life. So if someone says, ooh, like, something bad, like, haha, they're doing this, we shouldn't talk to them. Be that person to say, hey, I'm actually their friend, and I don't like how you're talking about them. You're talking bad about them. Now, it doesn't matter if like, I know the struggle of being like, oh, we don't want you in our friend group anymore. Like, I get that. But I would much rather take being friends with that one person that they were talking bad about than being in that friend group that might potentially corrupt me or say bad things about them, and I know, and I'm a part of that group. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to be in that if they're saying bad things about other people. I don't want to be included in that. That's what I'm trying to say here. We're gonna make our peas because why not? So basically, for dinner, I am gonna have a burrito. My dad is gonna have a baked potato, which is already in the microwave, with peas. And then my mom, which is a little bit original, just kidding, she's perfectly fine, wants me to steam these vegetables so she can eat them. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, so I had stuff to do, so I definitely did not have to like go through my videos on my phone, delete like half of them just to record, because my iPhone was out of storage. So guys, anyway, I got the peas going, I got the vegetables going, the potato is almost done. So yeah, anyway, it's technically done. I'm just gonna reheat it because I forgot to do the peas because I was busy with the phone. You're gonna watch me do that. I say about like 30 minutes. That's good. I think 30 minutes is good. Okay. Lower you down before you start spilling all over the place. Okay, more notes to go through, so we're gonna do that, and I hope you don't hear my hair. Just okay, where did we leave off of? John 4:14, the woman at the well, Jesus spoke kindly towards the woman, and she responded in a good way. So basically that's just saying that he told her, when she said, I don't have a husband, because, okay, if y'all don't know the story, I'm gonna tell you right now. The story is basically about, there was this woman, and she had married a lot of men and did bad things. So she wasn't really around any groups or anything. And so she would have to go later to the well because it took a while to get to the well. And like the sun was like hot during the day, so she had to go through during the day instead of in the morning where the rest of the women went to go get their water. So she goes in the middle of the day to go get her water, and Jesus had come to the well. He's like, hey, could you give me some water? And she's like, why did that just make a popping sound? Anyway, and he was like, well, who's your husband? Or something like that. I can't really remember it right now. And she says, I don't have a husband. He's like, that's right, you don't. You divorced your other husband, and right now, the man you're with, that ain't your husband. And she's like, how did you know that? It's like, I know all things. And I can give you the water where you don't have to thirst no more. She's like, I would love water that doesn't make me thirsty anymore, because when we drink water, that's only temporary. When that water flushes out, we want more water. Talking about water, it really makes me want water right now. But, and he's like, I can do that for you. Go, your sins are forgiven. And she runs back to the town, and they're like, I just met the Messiah. And it's like such a cool story, and she responded in a good way. She wasn't like, how did you know that? No, get away from me. I don't want to talk to you, and just leave. She listened, and she took it, and she really understood that. And she proclaimed that he was the Messiah and that she had found him at the well. And he spoke to her with truth and honesty. You divorced your husband, and that's not your husband now. And he wasn't like, oh yeah, no husband, okay. No, he told her the truth about her because he knew. Anyway, we are a sinner who deserves wrath, and that's true. I think it says Romans, that we fall short under the glory of God, and that we deserve death, and our punishment is ultimately death. If someone gave us a receipt and it says all the things, like, picture this. You have a receipt, but it says all the sins you've had. And by every single sin, the payment is death, death, death. The total is death. You go to pay that, and you're like, man, I don't want to pay that. I don't want to pay death. I don't want to die. But then Jesus comes up. Hold up. Pretend this is his little credit card. Jesus is like, oh, what's up? Click. You're welcome. And just leaves. Kind of what he did for us. He paid our sins so that we don't have to die. He died in our place to save us. And now we have the gift of salvation, that we can be with him. And it's such a glorious, wonderful thing that we didn't have to do anything to deserve that. Actually, we deserve the opposite of life. We deserve death. But God paid that for us. Jesus paid that for us. And it's such an amazing thing. Now we're gonna go get food. Okay. I think the peas are ready. We got these cute little hot pads. We're gonna get them because I don't want to burn myself. And we're gonna get the potato. Oh my gosh, it's hot. I almost just fell. Like, my foot hit the end of my heel. I almost just tripped. That would have been bad. Okay. And you guys are gonna watch me do this because why not? And I'll explain another note I took. Jesus continues to strengthen us and help us grow by being blunt. And that reminds me with the woman at the well. He was straightforward with her. He's like, hey, that's not your husband and you're sinning. That's what Jesus does for us. He puts it out straightforward for us. He's like, hey, what you're doing is wrong and you need to repent. And that's really what he does for us. And he's blunt, and he's just open about it and candor about it. I never really heard that word before the service. And when I got there, he was like, yeah, candor. So in service, I had to look it up. But it's actually pretty real. It's a real word to say. I just hope that all of you guys are candor and open and honest about things with your friends and people around you. Because you never know how that's going to affect someone in your life. They might be like saying like, God, if you are real, how, like, point out my sin, or I don't know, something like that. And you're just like, hey, it's wrong. Or if they genuinely don't know, they're like, oh, I didn't know. Thanks for telling me. And I think like with like correcting and stuff, we often tend to get defensive and we're like, well, this and this. No, it's your fault. I'm sorry, it's a dishwasher. Okay,
Are you burning my vegetables or are they getting...
Hello? Okay, I think it turned off, but we're back on it. Sorry, I had... It was just turned off. I think it's running out of battery. So, I might just record this tomorrow, because I need to recharge it. Okay, just kidding. I still want to record. So that's what we're gonna do. I don't know if you can hear me clearly. But yeah, Dad out of battery. I just don't feel like recording it another day because I'm already out here. I hope you can hear me. Good. So I'm gonna finish going over the notes. Got our Dr. Pepper. And let's see where we left off. Biblical teaching can hurt because it points out our sin, but it's a good thing. Sometimes we don't like to hear corrections. We don't like to hear that we're making a mistake. We don't like to hear that we're doing something wrong, ultimately. When someone says, oh, it's supposed to be this way, sometimes we react in a way like, they're just saying that. I'm doing it fine. I don't need correction. I don't need you to tell me what to do. That's a bad thing to do if someone corrects you. Now, a good thing to say when someone corrects you is like, oh, I didn't know that. Thank you. Or, I thought it was this way, but maybe your way is better. Let me see if it works. That's a good reaction of how to take a correction. So when the Bible does that to us, it's like, you are sinning and this is a sin, and it's our job to respond in a good way, saying, oh, I am sinning, that is my fault, I'm the one that's sinning. So we should probably do that. And then there's two ways to two ways we can conduct friendship. And one is flattery is convenient. And what that means is basically it's saying that as my little thing that I did in the beginning, like, oh, hey, I like your shirt, it'd be like, it's kind of satanic, but maybe not wear it. We flatter people when something isn't good, but everyone around says, oh yeah, that's good. We do that too. We go, oh yeah, it's perfect, yeah, it's nice, go for it, when really it's quite the opposite. And the second thing is candor gives life. If we hide the sin that our friend is doing, they're still sinning. And we need to help them realize that. And being honest and open about it gives life. If they're doing something that's blocking them from salvation, like they don't know they need to ask God into their heart, and they're doing quite the opposite, and we just flatter them, that's obviously not going to give life. So we need to be open and be like, hey, you're sinning, but there's one way you can get forgiven. I actually took a lot of notes for this, so this might be a long video. But I'm going to try to tie it up as soon as I can, because I feel like maybe 10 minutes of this video, I don't know. That's what I'm guessing. So it's hard to receive candor because it points out our flaws. And again, it's our job to respond in a good way instead of a bad way. And I put this as my thought because when he was talking about all this, I had a thought, and I put, when I get in a game and I'm good, like, let's just say Call of Duty, because I like to play it. And I know there's a lot of like, oh, it's a killer game. I just do it for fun. And I don't play it that often, so it's like, I'm not getting killer attention. But that's what I hear from people, but, and it's the mobile game, so it's not even like special, I guess. I don't know. But, when I play it, I'm good. I get cocky. I'm like, oh, I can do this. But then I fail. I'm like, I don't need to do that. Whatever. Or like, in a basketball game. Or I'm currently learning how to golf. When I said, oh, I can do this, I just like, the golf swing, like, bam. It is off. It is completely off. I'm like, okay. refocus and actually do your best. Not just get cocky about it. So when people flatter us, we get cocky and then fall in, like, we can possibly fall into sin. That's the worst part of us, like, flattering people and say, oh yeah, it's fine, when it's not really fine. Have courage and strength to point out flaws, because a lot of us, we have like anxiety and stuff, and I always pray to God to get rid of it, and it's actually working a bit. He's working in my life a lot, and I see it, because like I'd be like, oh, I don't want to talk to them, but I'm like slowly getting the courage. Like, I know there's some people, I think for Bryce Crawford too, and he's like, I asked God to take away my anxiety and it's gone, and my depression. And for me, he is taking that away, my anxiety and stuff, but it's in slow. And I'm kind of glad that he's doing it in a slow motion, because I think it would be a lot for me, first off. But second off, I can watch him work in my life, and it's just a blessing to see that he can work in my life. It also helps me to learn. But it takes a lot of strength and courage to just go up and say, hey, what you're doing is wrong. Because we are afraid. We are afraid of losing a friend. We are afraid of judgment. We are afraid of so many things that might happen. And that's the reality of it. And these are 3 challenges my pastor said to do. Is love your friends more than your friendship. And yes, our friendship is nice. Like, edited me. What I was trying to say was, yes, the friendship is nice, but focus more on the friend. So like, if your friend is doing something bad, focus on what they're doing and helping them, instead of just saying, oh yeah, they're my friend, but not really caring about the friend. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, again, I had to delete some photos because it cut me off. Do I remember what I was talking about? No. That's okay. Edited me is probably gonna make another video explaining what I was saying, because I don't remember. Anyway, let's put you back here. Okay. I don't know if you can hear me. Move you up a little so you can see my face. Ow. Let's see. Don't rebuke. Oh, wait. Don't dismiss rebuke if it's bad. So, like, why am I forgetting the word rebuke? I don't know. I'll put a little box right here saying what I'm trying to say, because girl doesn't remember what rebuke is. My brain is tired. Let's be real here. If you care about godliness, then you will strive to listen to candor. And basically, if you want to be closer to God and act in the way Jesus did, you have to accept candor. Because if you're doing something wrong, like say I didn't know that lying was a sin, and my friend knew that I was lying but didn't say anything. That's not going to get me closer to godliness. That's going to keep me far from it. But if my friend says, hey, you're lying, and you're not going to get godliness from it, I should listen to them and strive to get more candor so I can be more godly. Another thing I wrote down was, if you do not share candor, your friendship is probably weak and not strong. And one thing by that is, like, if you know your friend is doing something wrong, don't flatter them. Don't say, oh, it's fine, yeah. Call them out on it. And if your friend acts in a bad way, then you guys probably weren't true friends, because true friends listen to their friends and say, oh, I didn't think of that. let me try that. I'm gonna skip some notes so my phone doesn't go, I want storage, yada yada yada. Okay, how to change settings again. Not outside anymore. My mom wanted to get me cupcake. My mom wanted me to come in. Okay. When someone says something about our sin and we go into defense mode, that is not godliness. And as I said before, if we want true godliness, we need to accept candor and accept it in the right way, not defensively. Love is what is truly good. And we need to respond with love and not be like, well, this and this and that. No, respond in love, please. The people who are trying to give candor, or is candor, I don't really know how to use that word, so the person giving the candor, we're just trying to help. We're just trying to help you in what you do. And if we're wrong too, then we're both wrong. So we need to both learn. But the whole point of this is to accept it in a good kind way. Receiving candor well. Discipline yourself to examine people's ideas without letting emotion cloud your judgment. That's a good thing. Or it's a thing to really think on, because sometimes we let our emotions run how our lives are, and we need to discipline ourselves to see what we are doing wrong or what the other person is doing wrong. Discipline yourself not to take it personally when someone challenges your thinking or practice. And a lot of that is for example, me and golf. I'm still new to it, and I'm accepting everything that anyone tells me about golf so I can learn and practice on it so I can get good. Basically, that's what we should do in all things. If we're doing something wrong, or if someone thinks we're doing wrong, listen to them and actually hear what they're saying and accept it good. Learn not to dismiss the value of criticism morally near. I don't know what I said, but learn not to dismiss the value of criticism just because it's delivered poorly. Just because someone said something that really didn't make sense or was delivered poorly, but it's still criticism or candor, don't dismiss it. Someone might be trying to help us, but they just don't know how to say it. Give thanks to God's grace through brothers and sisters in Christ who will push you to think and live better. I like that one. I like that one a lot because ultimately the people around us are placed by God, and we should thank Him for having us be all together. And last two notes of this page and of this video, it's we have to get over our ego and pride and start listening to candor, because a lot of it is just really sometimes our pride and ego and our emotions get in the way of accepting candor because we think we're so good. Oh, I'm so good at this. I don't need anybody to tell me what to do. Well, we're not perfect. We're never perfect. So we need to keep learning and keep working on what we're doing. And if you're watching this and saying, hey, maybe try this, I will listen to you. I will fully listen to you and think about it and consider it. And then receive candor with loving grace. Exactly what we've been saying through the whole entire video is accept it with love and accept it in a good way and not get defensive and not say, well, this and this and I'm good at this, but I don't need you to judge me. Well, we're not perfect. None of us is perfect. Neither am I. The only one who is perfect is Jesus Christ. And he could have let us all die because we're not perfect and the punishment is death. But it had to be perfect. And we're not perfect. But Jesus died because he was perfect. He saved us all. He died on the cross. He was dead. Brutal death. But then 3 days later, he rose from the grave. He talked and was seen by I can't remember the number, but a lot of people. That's just proof that he exists. That God is alive today. He's the only one that's perfect. Unlike us, we're not perfect. He saved us. I want to make that important because Jesus came to save. And the only way we can receive candor because we are sinning. The only one that can forgive us is Jesus and God. And that's the only way we can get to heaven is if we ask God into our hearts and say, Jesus, I believe that you died and rose again. I believe that you save and are the salvation of this world. I believe in you. And I want you to live in my heart and be with me so I can go into heaven. You just ask God that and pray that, and he will save you. Anyway, I hope today was a good day for you, and I will see you next time because I'm gonna make this a thing. Let's see. We're gonna brainstorm. What to name this video and episode. So, let's see. Did you hear that? um, taking notes at church. I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But anyway, that's the end of the video, so I hope you like it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and like the video, and share it. Bye!